Welcome to About Time, a Doctor Who podcast. I'm Stephen, and I've been a Doctor Who fan since 2005.
And I'm Ben, and I've never seen the show before.
Today, we're discussing the second series of the Sarah Jane Adventures. And quite frankly, it's about time. Hello.
What was that?
That was weird. Let me start again. Hello, listeners.
Just be normal. Just say hello.
Hello.
Hello. There we go. Perfect.
I'm so excited.
Too excited.
Yeah, because a certain special someone is making his return to the podcast today. Hello, light of my life. How does it feel to be back in front of the microphone?
Weird.
Weird?
I've had 3 months off.
You have had 3 months off. So you took some time off to finish your, concentrate on finishing your studies, which you've done now.
Yeah. SA3 I passed, and then the rest of it I passed, so...
You've done extremely well, and I'm so proud of you. And all our listeners, I'm sure, are congratulating you as well. Are you going to finally reveal what you've been doing?
No.
You're still not going to say? Oh, okay.
No. I personally think you don't need to know everything about my life.
That's absolutely your choice if you don't want to. But, I think we can say you have a job off the back of your studies, which you have actually started, technically. And again, I'm so proud of you. So, yeah.
It's all good.
That's good. But yeah, you're back. We're here today to discuss... it's been a bit rough, hasn't it, to get through. It's the Sarah Jane Adventures Series 2.
Yeah.
I was actually quite surprised because I haven't watched it in a long time. And remember when we watched Series 1, you were glowing about Series 1. You said it was better than Doctor Who. You said you thought it was really well paced and just really good.
Yeah.
And then we started watching Series 2, and it's like, it feels like quite a step down in quality.
What it feels like to me, it feels like I've walked in on Stephen.
Let's finish that sentence quickly, yeah.
I walked in on Stephen watching the classic Doctor Who. That's what it feels like. Especially the last 2 episodes. They feel like they just all feel clunky. And like, it very much like, whereas the last series was like this quite mature show for children.
Yeah.
It feels like it's too, and then BBC has said, it's too mature.
It's gone very
CBBC,
down, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's gone like, it's not.
Which is what it is.
Yeah,
but
it's not for my demographic, and I don't see myself wanting to continue with it anymore.
Fair enough. It's a shame because, like, I know there are some bangers that we haven't seen yet, but it is unfortunate if there's quite a lot of.
Did you know
stuff to wade through.
If a sausage has a lower than a certain percentage of meat, it has to be called a banger. It can't be called a sausage.
Really?
Yeah.
Welcome to the Sausage Podcast.
In America, they have less food laws than us. Did you know that?
I do, and that's why they have such awful things and like E-numbers and stuff. We used to have E-numbers, didn't we? But didn't they get banned or something?
Yeah, we used to have E-colourings and all that.
Yeah.
And Mum used to say I wasn't allowed Fanta.
Right.
Because apparently Mum would swear to God that there was an E number in there that made me go, Doolally.
Doolally.
Yeah. And then Smarties, the blue Smarties, they got taken out for a while because of the E number.
Anywho.
Episode 1, The Return of the Slug.
The last Sontarra, not the Lost Sontarra.
This irritated me.
Yeah.
It really felt like, why are the suits out?
Yeah.
Let's just film this as well.
Well, you say that, yeah, they had to reuse the suit, but it was a different actor playing the Sontarran, so they had to completely recreate make him a new prosthetic to his face.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
It's moulded to the actor's face.
Really?
Yes.
But if you have a smaller nose, maybe not.
No, it's moulded to the actor's face.
Do sometimes have noses?
If not, how do they smell?
Through the ears?
So this was the last episode to fully feature Maria, our favourite character.
Thank the Lord.
Oh, she's not that bad.
Sorry, no.
But yeah, she's gone.
To America.
Off to Pastures New.
Yeah.
Dad! We're going to America! What would she have in America? We're having hot dogs!
Ugh, hot dogs. Ugh.
What else do they have in America?
Corn dogs.
Or she starts speaking with an American accent. Hey, Luke, I'm an American now. I sound American. And yes, even sadder than that, the last episode to feature
Hot Dad.
Alan Jackson.
Hot Dad.
Hot Dad.
Delish Dad.
Yeah.
Bedhead Dad comes later, though.
He does come later, yes.
He was good.
Something you said watching this episode, when the Sontaran was chasing them in the woods, you said, I'm sorry, little Sontaran legs can't run that fast.
No, they can't. And even in the last episode, I was like, no, there's no way that you can catch up to Luke. Little legs sometimes can be fast, but I'm sorry, that suit's heavy. His head is potato-shaped, which makes that heavy.
You also said that you think Luke has a crush on Clyde.
100%.
What makes you think that?
Just because just the way that he is almost admiration, borderlines obsession.
Yeah. But you can hero worship someone without having a crush on them.
Yeah, but...
We know Luke is intended to come out as gay. So.
Yeah.
Final character who made their last appearance is Chrissy.
Oh, thank God.
Maria's mum.
I was a bit sad that they didn't do like a reunion for them. Because
of them getting back together.
Yeah. And I felt like I did feel like, what was the point of her remembering it all if you're not going to use that?
Yeah.
Like, I was a bit like, I personally would have just recast her.
What, Maria?
Yeah.
I don't like that. I don't like recasting.
I love recasting because you get the sense of the same character and the continuity for the other actors. Other actors don't have to lose their job because
that is true.
Just because one person wants to leave.
That is true. So yes, Maria and her family are off to Pastures New.
Yeah.
I was so desperate to make that the title of this episode, but you haven't found it funny because she's a sheep. She's off to Pastures New. That was the joke, but never mind.
Oh my God. A bit strenuous. Oh my God!
What?
We forgot about Lucky! I saved the bird.
Oh, we didn't mention him, yeah. But I'm still waiting to hear back. So, okay, right, let's tell the story.
Okay. So, we were walking out of the car.
Back to the house.
And then...
I saw it.
Days before, we found a dead baby bird.
Yes.
Hatchling.
Yes.
And we nudged it into the...
Undergrowth.
Into the undergrowth.
Yes.
To let nature take its course.
Yes.
And then we found another baby bird.
That was still alive.
Yeah, it was still alive.
It was so young. It was a hatchling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was feisty.
And Ben scooped it up.
I scooped it up.
And brought it inside.
I brought it inside. And then my little desire to raise it.
I know,
as my
I could
baby.
tell. I knew you had a little desire of hand rearing it and nursing it back to health. But I've decided we didn't have the expertise for that all the time.
No.
So we looked up what to do.
So we took it to somewhere and they're looking after him.
Yeah.
I called him Lucky. He did a poo in his little house.
His little house?
His little bed.
What did we take him in? A little shoebox?
A tea towel.
Oh,
cardboard box.
Cardboard box.
And so they took him.
Anyway, so we had to email to hear back an update, and we're still waiting to hear if he survived or not.
Stephen said, I bet he pegged it.
I didn't say that. Did I? Not in those words.
No. I think he's fine, if I'm going to be honest.
Hopefully.
Because they had starling babies, hatchlings.
Oh, yeah.
Anywho.
What made you think of that?
I just forgot.
You just remembered.
I forgot him and his little face.
Anywho, so then we moved on to surely your favourite episode, The Day of the Clown. We're introduced to Rani.
Rani's not bad.
She's all right. Thing is, I think she's a very good actress, actually. And maybe she gets better as Sarah Jane goes on. But I feel like in this series, because she is an adult acting, she's probably 18 or something. But she's coming across like she's like a bad child actress, almost like trying to fit in.
Yeah, I think she was told.
Yeah, but she is better than that.
She's still acting?
Oh yeah, she was
famous.
She was in Cucumber.
Oh, Geeta.
I love Geeta.
And
Haresh.
He's not on the same level as Hot Dad, but he's an attractive dad.
Okay, is he warm dad? Lukewarm dad.
He came into that lesson and he was like, oh my God, here comes another alien.
What?
Trying to whip this. Here comes another alien trying to whip this.
Oh, you thought it was an alien?
Squeeze your shake. And then he turns out, oh, hello, I'm Rani's father. And then he's like trying to be protective dad. It's just the way, like, I hate like this like displays of like weird emotionally affection that doesn't really feel right for their age group. It's a bit like,
oh, I know exactly what you mean.
and it almost like feels like Rani is like plays a bit too old to have, and it's like she sniffs his food. She goes,
Yeah.
and I was like, we did not need that. We needed you to shut up.
I think they're meant to be in year 10.
Yeah.
And they are a little bit, yeah. She is a bit like, oh, Dad, like.
Yeah, she hasn't.
You just got to remember, it's a kids' show. It's for primary school children, really, or maybe early secondary school.
Oh.
I used to come home from sixth form when I was like 17, 18 and watch it because I was that cool. But
no, it's called an obsession.
Yeah. But yeah, Geeta. Do you like Geeta?
I do. I swear she's in a lot.
Yeah, I think, what's her name? Mina Anwar. She's very funny. I think I prefer her over Chrissy because Chrissy was funny but annoying, and Geeta is just funny and charming. I like her. I like how she's always like, my darling. Come here, my darling.
Yeah. I've come up with a restaurant name.
Yeah.
Well, it's a Doctor Who themed restaurant or cafe, and like all different types of things named after Doctor Who things.
Right.
And so spaghetti on toast would be called the Ood.
Okay. On toast?
Yeah. A matcha tea. Do you know what matcha is?
No.
It's a green tea.
Yes.
It's green. It's like made out of a root, I think. And I would call that exploded Slovene.
Okay.
A tiger loaf sandwich would be called the Sisters of Plenitude.
Well done.
The Sisters of Plenowidge.
The sandwich of plenitude.
I'm trying to...
I think this needs a bit of working on. I told you about the Cassandra lasagna, didn't I?
Yeah.
It's like a lasagna and then you put a face on the top of it with vegetables.
I don't know why you want to cook that, because you can't cook.
I didn't say I wanted to cook it. I just
You said you wanted the cookbook.
No, I didn't say that. I just said there is a cookbook.
Who wrote the cookbook?
Dunno.
Whoever wrote the cookbook, let's have you on. Okay.
Anyway, I think all that conversation about the restaurant came from... Anyway, you never told us what the name was going to be. You hadn't thought of it, had you?
The Police Box.
Oh, my God.
That's not bad.
It's not bad. Listeners, send us your suggestions for the name of the restaurant and for any dishes you can think of.
Oh, that's good.
What?
That's good. I want to see some cool ideas.
Yeah.
BBC, give us some money and we'll make it for you.
What, the restaurant?
No, I don't want to run a restaurant.
Certainly not a Doctor Who themed one.
No.
Anyway.
The servers could wear like...
I thought the servers could either be Ood or...
No, because why would the Ood be serving Ood food? Like, why would they be cannibals? No, we don't...
Ood food.
We do not promote cannibalism on this podcast.
No. Anyway, I think all that conversation came from the fact that you were thinking about the name of Geeta's florist, which you really liked. Blooming Lovely.
No, I wasn't thinking about that at all.
Oh, where did it come from then?
It just
popped into your head.
Let's just think about other things while you were talking.
Oh, how rude. But no, you did say you liked that name. You said, oh, that's a good name for a florist.
No, it is a fantastic name. And I wonder if it's actually a real florist that they filmed in.
Maybe. But she name drops it quite a lot. Maybe not in this series, but in the future, I'm sure. She's like, Blooming Lovely, my darling. That's where I work, my darling. So the only other thing to talk about in that episode is Bradley Walsh.
Stick to the chase, that's all I say.
You might be saying that when we get to Jodie Whittaker's era as well, and he's a companion. He's not that bad, but...
Stephen, he was awful. What was the fucking weird accent he was putting on?
Well,
Just speak normally!
Well, no. He had a few different roles within it, didn't he? Because he was Odd Bob, when he had that sort of American, I can't do it, but, that sort of twang. And then he was Mr. Spellman, and he had that sort of European, sort of German accent or something, which was weird. And he was the Pied Piper as well.
I do like the idea, I just don't think it was executed.
No, it wasn't executed very well. But it was so funny watching that because you'd already decided from the previous story, you were a bit like, I'm not sure I want to watch this. And then we started the second story and this clown walked past.
They ripped things right off of it.
Yeah.
Red balloons and everything.
Do you know what I find cringy, though, is every so often when he, leans his face right into the camera and goes like right.
I'm not scared of clowns. They're not my favourite thing in the world. I'm not scared of them. They have a slight unease.
They're creepy.
They're only creepy because people started using them for things.
I think they are creepy inherently, like the painted smile, as he said in the episode. I think they are very creepy.
That would be a very good
title for something.
Title for like maybe Mr. Blobby's memoir.
Mr. Blobby's.
Because he's got a painted smile.
Yeah.
And you could call it Painted Smile.
Yeah.
Do you remember Mr. Blobby?
Very much so. Yes.
Mum said I was scared of him, and then I loved him.
Oh. For anyone who is either too young or not from the UK, can we explain what Mr. Blobby was?
Mr. Blobby was friends with Noel Edmonds,
yes.
And they did some kind of show on a Saturday.
He was a character, a man in a big pink and yellow suit.
You asked me to explain, and you just took over.
Yeah, because you didn't mention that. You just said he was.
I was
friends
about
with Noel Edmonds.
to.
Okay, go on.
He's a big blob, basically.
Like me.
No. And he's pink. And he's got yellow spots. It's almost like he's got like an alien disease, but he doesn't.
And he's got like
He's got massive eyelashes that Kim Kardashian would be like jealous of. He's got makeup on and he's got a big smile.
Yeah. And he runs around causing chaos and like bumping into things, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And he's got a sort of distorted voice that goes like blobby, 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 blobby.
Does he?
Yeah, do you not remember that?
No.
No, my only real memory of Mr. Blobby that's always stuck with me because I thought it was hilarious was he was learning about snooker. He was at a snooker table and someone was explaining it to him. And you know that you have that little rest that's like a cross shape that you can put the cue on.
Yeah.
They call it a spider.
Oh.
And this man said, "That's the spider," and pointed at it. And Mr. Blobby went, "Ah!" and ran away because it was a spider. It's just always stuck with me.
Maybe he is you then. You don't like spiders?
No, I don't. And I'd also run away if someone was trying to explain snooker to me.
On Instagram the other day, it came up with this man deep frying tarantulas and eating them.
Oh my God, were they dead before?
Yeah.
Oh, thank God.
And he was like...
Even so, oh.
Did you know about tarantulas that apparently someone said if they drop, they explode?
What? Like grenades?
I don't know.
It
makes sense because their abdomen is like pressure. It's like, yeah. And their hairs are if they get in your skin, they are worse than splinters.
Oh, really?
They're so fine.
My mum, like me, is scared of spiders, and I don't know why, but her workplace organised these like treats every so often to like keep them motivated. And once these people came in with these animals like tarantulas and snakes and things to show people. And you could choose if you wanted to go in and do it or not. It was in this other office. And apparently this person was saying, you can have the tarantula on your hand, but you mustn't drop it because it would die if it hit the floor. And apparently my mum was like, good, I want it to die.
Did she go in?
No, I don't think she did, but I think she heard about it. Yeah. I'd do the same. Anyways.
And it was so dissatisfying because he said, let's dip it in this tempura batter and let's get it nice and crispy. And then when he ate it, it wasn't crispy at all. It's like, you need to leave that in a bit longer.
Yeah, why would you eat tarantula?
Well, insects are quite a delicacy, are they not?
Well, also people say they're the future because of like the food source in the world. Like if everyone ate insects, there would be no world hunger or something.
Yeah.
Anywho, I don't think we've got anything more to say about the clown one, have we?
No, other than...
I think that's probably my least favourite of the series,
yeah.
The clown one. But it's nice that we get to meet Rani. It is funny, though, how they're immediately like, the new girl moving in across the road, we're not going to tell her anything about what's going on, and then all it takes is her to ask a couple of questions, and they're like, okay, come on then, we'll show you.
Yeah, she asks questions, because she's very much like Sarah Jane. She's very much...
investigative.
She's better than Maria.
I guess, yes. She has more of a drive.
She has more of a role in the gang. Like, Luke is smart.
I was going to say, did you notice they have the classic trio dynamic?
Yeah. Luke is smart.
Yeah.
Rani is human smart.
Yeah.
And, like, compassionate. And
Clyde is comic relief.
Clive is comic relief. And Sarah Jane is their mentor.
Yeah. But, like, that dynamic gets used so much, like Harry Potter. You've got Harry's the kind of the action taker, the impulsive one. Then you've got Ron is his kind of comic relief and sort of encourages him, eggs him on. And then you've got Hermione, who's the sort of smart one.
It's like
With the
main
logic.
character with the two
angels on their shoulders. Yeah. You see that everywhere. Like even Buffy, like you've got Xander, he's like the comic relief, like Clyde/Ron kind of character. Yeah. And Willow being the intelligent one. It's a very classic dynamic. But yes, then we move on to Secrets of the Stars, the astrology one.
Oh my god.
What?
Fun fact, Stephen knows someone in this episode.
Oh yeah, I do. The woman who played his little assistant. What was she called?
Cheryl.
And the actress was Carell Thomas. She used to teach me drama years ago.
He was quite hammy.
Oh, he was hammy.
He was like one stage away from having 2 eggs on him.
Thing is, I think you need that in this kind of show. Like, this is the kind of show where maybe not every episode, but occasionally you got to have a hammy camp villain. He did I noticed he liked shaking his jowls. Like
he shook his head, which shook his jowls.
Yeah. He's quite a well-respected actor, Russ Abbott.
I don't know who he is.
I remember watching this when it aired and my dad being like, oh, it's Russ Abbott. It's, wouldn't have expected him to do something like this. I felt like Secrets of the Stars was a better episode than the previous ones, slightly.
Yeah.
I think, judging by my notes that I made when we watched this, the best thing to come out of this episode for me was a lot of stuff with Luke, where he was struggling about the fact that he doesn't have a birthday and that it makes him different, and he hasn't grown up with a childhood like everyone else has, which we love. Like, Luke is very autistic coded and queer coded.
How do you explain that? When he gets older, how do you explain it to, like, let's say a random person on Grindr that he picks up? Saying, I have no belly button, I was not conceived, I was grown out of green goo.
Well, if it's a random person on Grindr, they don't need to know that information, do they?
Well, they're going to be like, oh my god, you have no belly button.
Well, you can just say, oh, I had an operation and it went wrong or something. I don't know.
He's got no scars.
Yeah, I don't know. He can come up with some excuse, but then once it's someone that he actually is close to, then they can find out about his strange...
Him and Clyde lose touch, and then they get in touch because he messages a blank profile, and they meet, and they're like, oh my god. And they're like, I've loved you since I was a teenager, 15. And then it was just like, and then they get together and they hook up, and then they go off their separate ways, and then Clyde messages him again, and he says, I can't stop thinking about you. And then Luke says, I can't stop thinking about you. So they meet up again, and they make love again, and then they become boyfriends. Right. And then they call their first child, their twin girls, Sarah and Jane. And then they have a third child called Clara. And then Maria comes back from America.
Sorry, you've got no idea how amazing that was that you just said Clara, because Clara is Elizabeth Sladen's middle name.
Oh.
You didn't know that, did you? But no, Elizabeth Clara Sladen, I'm pretty sure that's her middle name.
Yeah. And then Maria comes back from America with her hunky boyfriend.
Yes.
Called, what's a very American name?
Cole.
Jeremy.
Oh,
Hunter.
Hunter, yeah. Tyler.
Hunter. And he comes back, and then Luke's like, oh my god, I know you. And then Luke's like, he's the alien I hooked up with like 10 months ago.
Okay.
And then Luke, he starts telling everyone that he's had a bit of a kink for aliens.
Okay, I think this is going down a strange path.
This is when he's like 30.
Yeah, but still a strange path. I'd love to meet him at a convention. He's so cute. He's got like facial hair that's really nice, and like he wears like a beanie. Whoa, he's cute.
You just destroyed the ending of my story.
What, had you not got to the ending yet?
No.
Go on then.
Then Rani comes about.
Oh my god.
And then Rani's like, she's pregnant with a baby. And then she gives birth, and it's actually a half human, half alien baby. And they have to hide the baby because the baby has like leaf hair.
Right. Okay.
She hugged a tree too hard. She thought it was just a talking tree, but no, it was an impregnated.
Is this where the trees of the forest of Cheam came from the end of the world, like Jabe?
Oh my god, origin story.
Yeah, full circle.
And then it grows up to be this wood thing, this like tree lady thing. And then she's the great grandmother of lady who burnt up.
Jabe.
Yeah.
Anywho, we were saying about Luke being different and sort of autistic code and everything. I like the fact that by the end of the story, he uses his difference as a superpower, because the fact that he doesn't have a birthday is what saves the day in a way.
I don't have a birthday. My name is Luke Smith.
He always has very frowny eyebrows, like very earnest eyebrows.
Yeah, then he goes
tough.
like,
yeah.
and then he raises them like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, while we're on the subject of astrology with this episode, do you believe in it?
No, not really.
No, neither do I. I thought you did a little bit.
Because
you're always saying, oh, I'm a fire sign, you're a water sign. And what do they make together?
You're not a water sign.
What is it?
You're an earth sign.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, I do feel like societal, it kind of pushes it on you at a very young age.
Yeah.
And that kind of, like,
informs
makes you, like, subconsciously...
Yeah, of course, it's earlier rubbish.
Yeah. I do think, like...
Apologies to anyone listening who does believe in it. You're free to believe what you want.
Yeah, if you believe what you want. I don't believe in any type of clairvoyance. I don't believe in mediums.
Do you believe in extra larges?
I am an extra large.
Oh.
Because mediums for me, there's been far too many exposés of mediums. Frauds. And they have these TV shows, well, that's edited. This is all edited. Yeah. This is...
People are fascinated by it. They always have been, and that's why it gets perpetuated.
So if you believe in it, feel free, go ahead, live your life with it.
But it's funny when you look through the horoscopes in the newspaper or whatever. Sorry, that makes me sound so old. No one does that anymore. But you know, there you could pick any random one, and you could think, oh, that's relevant to me.
But tell me this: why is it that the Sun will say one thing?
Yeah.
The Daily Mail wouldn't have horoscope.
Anyway, another newspaper.
Yeah, another newspaper and a magazine would say this. Your phone would say something else. Oh my God! Do you remember that you could text Mystic Mog?
Mystic Mog? You mean Mystic Meg?
Yeah. What? That's not her name.
Mystic Meg?
No.
Not Mystic Mog.
I thought it was Mystic Mog.
Meg.
No.
As in, Mog. Shut up, Meg.
It's Mog.
It's Meg! Because my aunt used to call her Septic Peg as a joke. Again, anyone who's too young or not from the UK, she was a television fortune teller, wasn't she?
Yeah, and also, but then she went on to the Sun and she wrote the horoscopes for the Sun.
Right, yeah. But she was on the National Lottery, wasn't she? Yeah.
Do you remember Dear Deirdre?
No, what's that?
In the Sun?
No.
Like Agony Aunt?
No, I never got the Sun.
Oh, okay. I read one once.
Too many boobs for my liking.
Only one. Well, two.
One boob.
I used to share a room with a very straight brother, and he had this booby calendar. I mean, like, booby.
My God. What did your mum say?
She had a fireman calendar.
And you secretly wanted the fireman calendar in your room.
I started to come to terms when I was gay at 13.
Yeah.
And I had a really hard time with it. Really, really hard. It made me quite... Yeah. Anyhow, long story short, I don't want to expose my trauma to everyone. But...
That's what this podcast is for.
Yeah. But, like... Yeah, so I used to be like... If mum went up the shops, sometimes I'd be like... I feel... And I would look through, and I'd look at it, and I was like... And I'd feel this deep shame.
Yeah.
And this deep, like... I shouldn't be doing this. So then I would go upstairs and be like... Look at, like... What I felt like I should be looking at and being aroused by.
It's so sad, and this is why it matters so much to me normalizing it for the new generations, because
like
why should people have to go through this, feeling this shame and denying who you are?
Yeah,
and that's why it makes me angry, because I work in a primary school, as you know, and when I still to this day hear people saying, "Oh, you're gay," as an insult.
Yeah.
It makes me so angry, because that should have been stamped out by now.
It's just like, I would not choose... When I was a teenager, and I was like begging God...
This has got deep.
To stop feeling how I was feeling.
Yeah.
It's hard.
It is.
It is very hard.
That's what I'm saying.
It's
Nobody
like-
should be going through that.
No, and it's like, why would I choose to be hated?
Yeah.
Why would I choose a path that is harder than the rest of everyone? Like, it's only hard because of the hatred
Exactly.
that is being spewed out. And I'm saying, like, I believe in God. I make that very clear.
Yeah,
I believe in
that's
God.
fine.
I believe in like, not every story of the Bible, but I believe that there's some being out there that is looking after us
Okay.
in some way, and he's guiding us towards his perfection. And I'm like, well, if you think that God is the most benevolent being and has made us all in his perfection, who are you to deny, who are you to complain that God is of God's creations?
Yeah.
You're no better than God.
Yeah.
So you can't really use religion to protect your bigotry.
No.
Your bigotry is bigotry for a reason, because you just hate.
But rest assured, people will find a way to use their religion.
Yeah,
Because
of
the
course
thing
they
is,
will.
people think that they don't get... Well, they think you can't get backlash because, well, it's my religion, it's what I believe.
All I can say is change in this world is needed.
Yeah. Anyway, moving back to the CBBC show from 2008 that we're discussing. The next episode was...
Chuckle Vision, Chuckle Vision, Chuckle Vision, Chuckle Vision.
Was they still making that in 2008?
Chuckle Vision, I think so. Vision.
I loved the classic ones, like the ones from the 90s.
Yeah.
They were really good. Anyway.
That was so good. That was a good show.
I was trying to get us back on topic and you just dragged us off topic again. So the next episode was The Mark of the Berserker. This was the one where we met Clyde's parents and we had the pendant. To me, this particularly the opening of this episode, do you remember with Jacob in the school, in the detention, making everyone be quiet? Do you remember that? That to me felt very much like Buffy, like early, like season 1 Buffy, you know, which was very high school based, and I could just see that being a plot, like someone has a pendant they found and it makes people do what they tell them. And like when they all could not use their voices, and it was quite creepy. Yeah.
Yeah, but my personal opinion on like all of that is that almost felt magic-y, because the pendant was not. It doesn't steal things from you. It makes you do what you want.
Yeah.
So,
well, it's just mind control, isn't it? What did we think of Clyde's mum, Carla?
she was alright.
Yeah, I thought she was nice.
I like it when they have mumsy mums.
Yeah. Yeah, she's
I
nice.
know not everyone had a mumsy mum, but I had a mumsy mum. And she was very much like Carla.
Yeah. And then you've got Paul, the dad.
Ugh.
Nasty.
What a crock of old shit.
Selfish.
And he spawned again.
Oh, yes. So he ran off with Carla's sister Mel
Yeah.
and had a child with her.
Or
she's pregnant. So I said to you at the time, that child is going to be both Clyde's sibling and cousin.
Yeah.
How weird. One thing I did like about this episode, again, very Buffy-like, is that it felt like one big metaphor. Once Paul got his hands on the pendant and he was controlling Clyde, saying, you know, forget your mum, forget your friends and everything. It felt very metaphorical, like he is an abusive, controlling person.
Yeah.
I thought that worked well.
Trying to undo his damage.
It doesn't work like that. You've got to put the work in. You can't just have a magic fix. Yeah, and Sarah Jane was quite absent in that episode. It's a Sarah Jane Light episode, which I think maybe because she needed time off to rest. I'm not entirely sure when her cancer treatment started, but it may have been even as early as that. I don't know. I know she kept it very secret and only certain people knew, like Russell knew. But yeah. And as you said earlier, Maria and Alan popped up again in this episode for a cameo.
Yeah.
And we got Alan with the bed hair.
And pyjamas.
Yes. I follow the writer of this episode on Twitter, Joseph Lidster. And so someone put a screenshot of Alan with his bed hair on Twitter and saying about, you know, how hot he is. And the writer was like, by the way, the bed hair was my idea, specified in the script, so you're welcome.
Do you know what I actually think? I think that Alan would actually be more of a nude sleeper.
But he's got a daughter, like a teenage daughter,
Yeah, that can still happen.
who has nightmares that he has to run in and see if she's all right.
Does she?
Yeah, in one of the series 1 episodes, she wakes up and she's like, "Dad!" in the middle of the night.
And that's a robe.
Oh, okay.
Get a robe.
The next one was The Temptation of Sarah Jane Smith,
Oh, yeah.
which I quite like. We get the trickster back. Classic villain.
I'm nearly arrived!
I like the way he says, "You have given this planet to the trickster." He's so camp.
Isn't that the man who was with the mermaid lady with the
No.
thingy hair?
That's someone else. That's Julian Bleach, who was Davros. This is
The man who...
Yeah, he was Davros, but he also played the Ghostmaker.
Oh.
But this is Paul Mark Davis, who played, you won't remember, but in Utopia, he was one of the future kind.
Oh, no.
You won't remember that. But anywho, this is
I
a
have
good
feeling
one.
like... This is what I hated about these 2 episodes coming up, these 2 arcs coming up.
Right.
They are a bit like the storylines, like bringing back the Bane and bringing back the Trickster.
Yeah, but recurring characters can be good. I think the trickster was quite weak in this one because he didn't do much apart from, trick Sarah Jane into changing the past. And then, the whole thing was, I'm manifesting, and then he never did.
He did.
Yeah, but...
Just slightly not in time.
Yeah.
I think this show would have been much better. This show would be good if there was a big bad. You followed the Buffy structure.
Oh, I see, yeah.
That would be good. All
Across
of these smaller ones fit.
Yeah, maybe.
So this would have been very good if everything in these episodes was like fit the Bane.
Yeah, I could understand that. Do you know who Rob Madge is?
Yes.
What's the name of his show? My Sons Are Queer.
Yeah.
He was in this episode. Do you know who he played? The little boy who turned into the grass. The little boy in the pullover. The one who went...
See, you now have my prize.
Yeah, I was going to do it, yeah. Time to collect my prize. What do you think of the Grask?
Ugh.
Yeah.
I hate it when they use actors of, like...
Small stature.
I think they go by little people, do they not?
Okay, yeah, little people.
And they cover their face up.
Yeah. No, it is a thing. It is problematic if you break it down and think, actually... If you're a...
It's a bit like Princess of the Frog. First black princess.
Yes, and they transform her into a frog. Yeah, exactly. But it is a wider thing of, like, little people exist in the world, and yet 99% of the time they're used in film and TV to play
Villains.
fantastical creatures, like goblins and elves and things.
Yeah.
Like, these people are human beings and they exist in the world. Why do they always have to be...
Yeah.
But the Grask always reminds me of one of the funniest moments in Series 1. Alan comes running down the stairs past Chrissy, and then the grass comes running after him, following him, going, "Arr!" following him. And Chrissy's just like, well, that's just ridiculous. It's so funny. I like when actually we get to do some time travel as well. So the fact they went back to the 50s was nice.
Yeah.
It did annoy me slightly that they dressed the market square where the memorial was, and it was like smothered in Union Jacks, and I'm like, they
1951.
Yeah, which was not the coronation.
Yeah,
the Queen became the Queen in 1952, and then the coronation was 1953. So just when you think 50s, you do tend to think Union Jack flags everywhere, but it doesn't make sense for 1951, does it?
I guess they just like when they were doing like festivals.
Maybe, yeah. Sarah Jane's pink outfit, was that a what the fuck fashion for you?
It is. Fire the person who went down to the local costume store and got it. It looked like it was made out of the most cheapest polyester fabric from Fabricland.
I have the 50s came back in the 70s.
Did it? But not that cut. It's just the colour. This like bright ass pink. And I was like, I'm pretty sure it was chosen because of like the filter that was going to go on top of the 50s.
Yeah, probably. Which was a bit cheesy, wasn't it?
Yeah, didn't need to have that.
So we met Sarah Jane's parents, Barbara and Eddie. I love them. I think they're cute, sweet. I was so proud of you.
Oh, yeah.
You noticed Mr. Smith's theme in the music.
Yeah.
Like, because there was that joke when Barbara was talking to Sarah Jane and she said, and I said, Mr. Smith, I will, marry you. And there was this hint of Mr. Smith's fanfare theme in the background. And I was making a note. I was gonna say, did you notice it? And you went, oh, it's Mr. Smith's theme. And I
thought it was smart because she calls him. Why did Sarah Jane call him Mr. Smith?
Well, I always thought it was named after her father.
So Mr. Smith, and yeah, I heard it because you do hear it quite a lot.
You do hear it a lot.
And that irritates
Do you want to know how
me.
sad I am? When I was about 17, 18, when I was watching this, I ripped the sound off the episode of the fanfare, and I set up my sound scheme on my computer so that when I logged on, it would play it.
Fucking God.
That's how sad I am.
Oh my God. Stephen
No,
is so
but that's
obsessed with
not-
Doctor Who.
Can I just say, that's not the worst bit, because when I logged on, I would say, before I pressed enter, I'd put my password and then I'd be like, Mr. Smith, I need you, and press enter.
Oh God! So this is how deep Stephen's obsession is. I came down in just my underwear and he was talking to me from upstairs about Doctor Who. I was downstairs in my underwear and he did not blink an eye. He just kept on going on Doctor Who.
You said, even me and my boxers can't distract you from Doctor Who. Well, that's a lovely image for our listeners now, isn't it?
No, they'll puke.
What else? Oh my God, there was that really funny bit as well where she sees the police box and she thinks it's the TARDIS. Doctor, I can't believe it. And then it wasn't. That police box prop was awful, though. I don't understand why they couldn't have just got the actual TARDIS prop. It looked like it was made of cardboard.
I'm just going to say this. BBC, you do own the TARDIS?
Exactly. It looked like a fan film someone had made a TARDIS for. The other thing with this episode I really like, it kind of echoes Father's Day for me a lot, where Barbara worked it out that they had to go off and they had to die in order to put the world right.
Yeah.
And all that emotional stuff that came with that.
Yeah, but the thing is, why did the flying things not come back out?
Oh, because they never get used again, because... Yeah.
The Paradox monsters.
The Reapers, yeah.
The Paradox monsters.
I think that was an idea they went with in Series 1, and then they were like, that's not going to work every time. They just brushed it under the carpet.
And stumped them out.
Mm.
They got bug spray.
Anti-Reaper. Anywho.
Retcon spray.
Yeah. Like just airbrushing them out.
Yeah.
Okay, final story then of this series was Enemy of the Bane.
The best bit was Samantha Bond.
Samantha Bond. Yeah, she is amazing. I love her.
She's so good.
She plays a great villain.
Okay, anybody who works at Disney, Marvel and Disney are pretty much the same thing. Give this woman like
villain role.
some juicy ass villain role.
Yeah, she's so camp.
Yeah.
And the heels, like when she's running, you know, with that robe thing she's wearing that's sort of tight, like a pencil skirt.
It's not a robe.
What is it?
It's the dress.
But it's got
The dress with a hood.
a hoodie thing.
Yeah, it's the dress with a hood.
Oh, right. Why was she wearing that anyway?
It's a dress with a cow neck that is draped over her head.
Okay. But anyway, she was running and she sort of had to run sideways with her heels. Yeah, very camp. And when she's like, I do so loathe amateurs. You know I've been dying to do that voice.
The thing is, though, I kind of would have loved to have it that she actually was trying to get their help.
Yes.
That would have been good.
I'm a sucker for that trope. I love when the villain has to team up with the hero.
Yeah.
And you know, like they have to team up because they have a common goal, but they still clearly hate each other.
Yeah.
I love that. I kind of wish Karg hadn't been in it, the Sontaran.
Yeah. But you know why he was.
Why?
We've got the suit out.
Yeah.
We've got the suit and we paid for have the prosthetics. Can't be in just 2 episodes. Let's give them 2 more.
Yeah. We also got the Brigadier. Bless him. So
recast.
No, oh, absolutely not. If you're going to bring him back, bring back the actor.
No,
that's the whole point.
Recast.
To honour
recast
him. No,
recast.
Absolutely not.
Recast. Oh, the Major was hot.
No, he wasn't.
He was slimy hot.
Slimy hot.
Yeah, I quite like that.
No, I didn't like it.
No, I thought it was quite like.
It was lovely to see the Brigadier in it. Because he's never been in the new Doctor Who series, and he passed away a couple of years after filming this. So this was his Nicholas Courtney.
No.
And fun fact, he wasn't supposed to be in it. Guess who it was supposed to be?
The Doctor.
No.
Who?
Bear in mind they needed to get into unit.
Martha.
Yeah. Supposed to be Martha, but there was scheduling conflict. So they brought the Brigadier in instead.
So this happens after she's met Martha.
Yeah.
We won't be watching this again.
Okay. I'm quite sad about that because I know there are some good ones. And there's one in the next series that I really wanted to watch. The Doctor appears in Sarah Jane.
Oh, does he?
He has an episode. And I thought because it's Tennant, like I wanted to watch that before he regenerates. Maybe we could just do that episode and not the rest of the series.
You should do a post.
Yeah.
You should say, Ben is undecided whether he wants to continue with Series 3 of Sarah Janio.
Yeah. More autistic coding with Luke when Mrs. Wormwood's saying to him, you were born into this strange world where nothing makes sense or whatever. It felt very relatable.
Mm.
And also, once it's revealed that she and Karg are working together, and they're this sort of duo, do you know what it reminded me of?
Mm.
They reminded me of the White Witch and her little dwarf sidekick in Lion the Witch and the Wardrobe. Especially the way she was like trying to sweet talk Luke and being like, you could be my prince. Like she does with Edmund. So yeah, I think, would you say that finale was your favourite of the series?
Yeah. I absolutely quite like this about Sarah Jane actually, that because there's no budget to go, and they don't have a spacecraft, they have to go to other places, so they actually there's more lore about things in the Earth that we can't explain.
Yes. So you're thinking of the Standing Stones.
Stonehenge.
Yeah.
All these different types of things.
Yeah.
And they're that aliens can't cross it because they know what's there, but humans are oblivious to what's there, so they can path it.
That was cool.
But I think that Luke was made by alien hands. So
yeah.
Surely he wasn't allowed in.
But he has human DNA because it's synthesized from the humans that walk through the system. Remember?
So he's a little bit part of Clyde and a little bit part of Maria.
I don't know if Clyde ever went in there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, it was that woman.
Kelsey. Girl. Yeah.
Kelsey.
Yeah. So glad she didn't make a reappearance.
Was she supposed to be a part of the gang members?
Yeah. But they fired her.
And then they hired Clyde.
Yeah.
Who is like an adult.
Yeah. Anyhow, since we're on our Sarah Jane Series 2 episode, I asked listeners if they had any thoughts on Sarah Jane Series 2. Very interesting because there's a lot of positivity. A lot of people love it and think it's better than Series 1 and blah, 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 which is not what we thought at all. I can relate to this, though. WPL94 says, more sad that Maria's dad left than she did.
Yes. What's the actor's name?
Joseph Milson. I really like to get him on the podcast. I'm going to try.
I wonder how he's aged.
Oh, really well. He's really attractive. If I get him on the podcast, will you come with me to interview him? Is he one
gay?
person? Oh, no. Don't think so.
Much.
Anyhow.
Aged like a fine wine.
A fine wine. Finn says, Mark of the Berserker is the best episode, hands down, was bawling like a baby. Oh, Charlie said, I still have mates scared of clowns because of Sarah Jane Adventures. Owen said, perfect example of making a cast change work.
Should have just
been Rani from the beginning?
No. Should have just recast it.
I don't agree with that. That would have been so jarring.
No, it wouldn't have.
Only if they'd got the girl from Angus Thongs and Perfect Snogging, because they're very similar.
No.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It just means, I just think, it meant we would have kept Hottie.
I just hate recasting when we're trying to pretend it's not a different actor. So that's Sarah Jane Series 2. I bet you're glad that's over.
Yeah.
Next week is the Doctor Who Christmas Special, 2008.
Oh.
So picking up where the Doctor's just...
Where Kylie died.
Where
Kylie Minogue's character died.
That was 2007.
Oh, yeah.
We've already watched that.
Oh, yeah.
Hence why you know that she died.
Yeah.
So we've had Journey's End where the Doctor has had to say goodbye to Donna because she's had to have her memory wiped. Remember?
Yeah.
So we'll pick up and see what happens to the Doctor next.
Yeah.
And then after that, we will be going on to Torchwood Series 3, which I was so excited for. But yes, oh my God, I'm so excited because it's been so many weeks and I haven't been allowed to sing the song. But we can sing it now because you're back.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Patreon, 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 shout-outs. Patreon, 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 shout-outs. Oh, that feels so good. Now, we've gained quite a few since you were last here.
I'm going to tip my hat and say thank you very much to those who have supported our little Doctor Who adventure.
Exactly. And actually, yes, as of time of recording today, we've got a new one. I would like to welcome Janie to the team.
Hello, Janie.
Hi, Janie. Thank you so much for your support. You join the team of... My God, are you going to repeat them after me? Because it's going to take ages if we do that.
Yes, I am.
Okay, we're going to have to do it quickly then.
It is what we do.
Okay.
It is what I live for.
Okay. Can I do a voice? Shall I do Mrs. Wormwood?
Oh, my God.
You know I'm dying to.
Yeah.
Oh, or shall I do Maria since she's gone now? This is
You
her
can
final,
do whoever you want to do.
I'll do Maria.
No, you've done Maria before.
What, for Patreon?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I think you have.
Oh, okay.
Don't, because it's annoying.
What?
I know that I might be annoying, but I'm cute enough to get away with it.
Are you?
For you.
Oh, yes. Okay. So, Mrs. Wormwood, could you come over here, please, and read the list for us? Yes, I do so loathe lists. You're joining the ranks of Louisa, Philip, Northerly, Jason, Joe, Tom, Louis, Michael, Verna, Heather, Benny, Caleb, Monica, Amber, Jess, Kaylee, Kieran, Jay, Owen, Natalie, Imogen, Sarah, Aaron, Jake, Matt, and Ryan.
And Janie.
Janie's joining the ranks of everyone else. Yes, thank you, Janie. Thank you, Mrs.
That
Wormwood.
was too fast.
Because it's so
I
long
messed
now.
up.
We have a lot of people supporting us now.
I messed up.
No, you did fine. You did fine.
Thank you to
Thank you, all of you.
Well, I'm back.
You are back. I'm so glad. Listeners, are you glad to have the star of the podcast back?
So, I'm looking forward to watching
Torchwood?
Torchwood.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to not watching this children's show anymore.
Well, you said I'm going to do a post and see what listeners say.
And then we're doing some extra bits over the summer.
Oh yeah, we're gonna be. In fact, by the time this episode goes out, probably the our new Patreon exclusive episode will be out, which we've got to record soon. Which we're doing a classic story. I won't say which one it is at this point because Ben might still need to be convinced. But yes. Anywho, so that was that. I'm excited to do the Doctor Who Christmas special. It's called The Next Doctor.
What an original title!
Okay.
It's very unoriginal.
Is it?
Because we all know that he's going to regenerate.
Well, yeah, you know that's coming.
And you knew it was going to come in anyway when you watched it.
Yeah. So let's look out for that. Let's enjoy that.
Yeah, and then what is it? He normally, on a Christmas special, he normally has like a
one-off
part-time
companion.
companion.
You have to wait and see.
This is Polly McGolly. Well, Polly McGolly is better than Ruby Sunday.
Shots were fired.
You go to Shakeaway. I'd like a Ruby Sunday, please.
Yeah, I've made that joke before. Don't
Have
worry.
you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Right, just before we leave, I've got a couple of emails to read out. So this first lovely email comes from Victoria, who is a drag artist. Their full name is Victoria Northbound, which if you live in London is very funny. The tube system.
Oh.
Victoria says, "Hi, my name's Victoria Northbound. I'm a UK-based drag queen and heavy Doctor Who fan. I've seen your clips on TikTok for a while, but only just started listening to you guys, and I'm so glad I started. I've had tonsillitis recently, and listening to you guys has really brightened my time. I'm currently up to tooth and claw, so I still have a long way to go, but my God, I'm excited. I always thought I knew everything about New Who, but Stephen's fun facts have my jaw on the floor, and Ben's reactions are hilarious every time. Both of your laughs are so infectious, and I'm so happy to have discovered your podcast. I rated 5 stars on Spotify after the first episode. I love it so much. Hope you guys are well, and wishing you all the best for future episodes. Can't wait to carry on listening." So that's nice. Thank you, Victoria.
Thank you, Victoria. Can we call you Vicky?
No. And the other email I'm going to read out comes from Scott.
Spot.
Scott.
Oh, Scott.
It's not a dog.
Oh, do you remember Spot the dog?
Yeah, I love Spot the dog. So cute. Anywho, Scott says, Hi, Stephen and Ben. I've recently discovered your podcast from TikTok. I saw the footage of Stephen's reenactment of the Unicorn and the Wasp. Absolutely brilliant. Thank you for that. And I've been obsessed with listening to them for a few weeks now. Yous are so funny. I tried to get my partner to watch Doctor Who a few times and she'll always refuse. Is there any wise words of wisdom you could use to persuade her to watch it with me eventually? Also,
say that you'll try 60 new foods.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up. We'll come to that. Let me just finish the email and then we'll come on to that. Also, your laughs are contagious. I found myself driving along to work in absolute hysterics listening to the both of you. I'll be gutted if this podcast series ever comes to an end. All the best, Scott. Yes, I will also be gutted if this ever comes to an end.
Wow, Series 4 is the last series that we're doing.
That's not true. That's not true.
Yeah, you could say to your girlfriend, you could say...
Yeah, so I don't think we've told this story on the podcast before.
I don't want to.
About the 60 foods.
I don't want to.
What, you think it makes you look bad?
Yeah.
It doesn't. It's fun. So I am a fussy eater, always have been. And I don't like trying new things.
Fussy is good, but I would also call bland.
Yeah, I don't like trying new things because I decide that I don't like them before I've even tried them.
Salt is too spicy for you sometimes.
So anyway, Ben was keen to expand my taste buds, weren't you?
Yeah.
So he said, because he knew how much I wanted him to watch Doctor Who, he said if I tried 60 new foods, which is a lot, he would watch Doctor Who. So we started a list on my phone of all the new foods, and I did it. It caused me so much. It took a lot of bracing myself to try things, and some things I will agree, I admit I liked.
Cheese and onion Pringles.
Yes, which I was like, I won't like those, and I did. And then other things like, what did you make me try that I hated? Oh fuck, pickled onion. You made me try fucking pickled onion.
And I don't even like pickled onion.
No, exactly. That was disgusting. But
I like
anyway,
gherkins.
I did it, and that's how we ended up starting the podcast. So yeah, you could always try that. Scott.
It wasn't 60 individual new foods.
Well, the idea was it was going to be 60, and then some foods were so scary to me, you said they can be worth multiple points.
Yeah, and I think pickled onion was worth like 10.
10 points, yeah.
So don't complain.
No, all right. But yes, thank you for those emails, you two. I loved how they both said that our laughs are contagious and infectious. If you, listener, would like to get in touch, you can email us at abouttimecast@gmail.com. You can find us on Instagram and Twitter and TikTok, About Time Cast or About Time Podcast on TikTok. You can support us on Patreon, as we've mentioned. You can also support us on Ko-fi, Coffee, however you pronounce it. I still don't know.
Stay cool, stay safe, stay fantastic.